Video is from an earlier recording that I made with my team, the Junkies, for our team Christmas party. I'll put a link to learn more about my team at the end. Hi there, it's Jen, and I am doing a live instead of the Zoom meeting. I'm just adjusting my lights here because this was not my original plan. I was going to go via Zoom. But Zoom was giving people grief tonight, including me. So I thought I would just come on and do a live. So I've got a card that I want to show you that was going to be part of the Christmas party. Anyway, so we did a stamp card, and I had used blues and stuff, and so I kind of had made a card that was fancy and blue and whatever. So I wanted to show you that, and it's all using new stuff from the mini catalog. And I'm just going to check to see if anyone's there. And if you missed the party and you want to see it, I did record it. I forgot about for the first 5 minutes, but then I started recording it. So as soon as that recording's ready, I'll put it up. So here we go. And I just want to make sure that I'm in the right group here. So just give me 1 second to check, because I did this very quickly. And I just want to make sure I'm in the right group. So hold on 1 second while I check. Because I had everything set up for something else. Okay, so yes, I'm there. Okay, good. Good. Okay. So I'm using this stamp set called Marigold Moments. And this was one that I almost didn't get, but I really liked the look of this two-step stamping. And although I might not use the Happy Mother's Day, I don't have a mother, although I might do for mother's mother-in-law, and you have a heart of gold. The sayings are not so much something I would use, but the flowers are beautiful and the dies are gorgeous. So I'm going to show you those. And I've done some of the stuff ahead of time, but I wanted to show you some of the bits. So one of the things that I used was this new Cane Weave 3D embossing folder. This was one of our clues in one of our games that we played tonight. And this is sort of a waffly weave. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. It's very pretty. It's a 3D folder, and it really does look like textured paper. So I've done that on smoky slate. And this is a piece that's 4 by 3. Hi, Dana. How are you? You're in the Junkies group. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you, I'll show you the actual stamp set here and the dies. So the stamp set is photopolymer, which is nice and easy to line up. The dies, there's a die for cutting out this image, also this image, also the leaves, and then there's an extra piece. And there's this piece. And what's cool about this piece is when you die cut it, so I already did this. Let me just put this here against some white so you can see it. So when you die cut this piece, that's what it looks like. So you'll get, so I put that in the machine and die cut it. So you're going to get this piece. I don't know if you can see that. It's got little hearts in the border. It needs to be against white, I think. Hold on. And I still have my fan going. Hopefully that's not too loud. But I'm wearing this long sleeve pajama shirt, which I never wear long sleeves because I'm always hot. So I've got the fan on because I'm hot. So this is a very pretty little border piece. But what's cool is that you also get this. So you've also got this little scallopy end. So that's what I'm going to use. And I'm actually going to put it right on here. So I'll just save that for a few minutes. So one of the things that I wanted to show you is a little trick in case you didn't know how to do this. And what I did was, I always hate it when I stamp, here I'll show you, I've got one here. So I stamped the stem, and then I put it through on the machine, stem gun emboss machine, and I use my tape to tape it down because we don't have a magnetic platform, and then it moves, even with tape. So this always annoys me, so you can see how it's not perfect. So this is a thing you can do that will help make it perfect. So what I did was I die cut the 2 leaves out of 1 piece of paper, and I've put it here in my Stamp-A-Majig, and I've got my foam mat here because this is a photopolymer stamp, so it's always better with foam. So I'm going to put my little, I'm just going to flip that over, and I put my little stencil in here that I made. So I can just keep this with the case now too. And then what I did was I fit the stamps so that they fit perfectly in that spot. And then I can go ahead and die cut these out. I don't have to pay any attention to which way they're going. I can use die cut them out of little scraps. I can die cut a whole pile at the same time without having to line them up. And then when I need to go stamp them, I'm just going to fit them into this little piece here. And Dana says she loves the little hearts. They're so cute, aren't they? Okay, and I'm going to grab my soft succulent. And you can't see this part because it's up here. Actually, here, I can turn this. I will turn it. Doesn't really matter now. And I'm going to ink this up with soft succulent. Okay, and now when I stamp this, this is going to be stamped perfectly in the right spot. And if I'm doing multiples, like say for a swap or something, I can do those multiples very quickly and they're perfectly stamped. So I love that. So I'm just going to peel this off. And I'm going to just keep this little jig set up in case I want to make more of those. Okay, and then I will just store that little jig in there. So there's a little trick. It's also a great thing to do for if you're doing at a card class and you don't want people fiddling around too much with the machine. You can pre-die cut those white images and just have them use the Stamp-O-Me jig instead. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you on this stamp set is a lot of times stamp sets come with all these extra little tiny bits. And you don't know what they're for. So I examined the pictures very carefully, and there's one little piece that basically is the little vein in the middle of the leaves. So it just adds a little something, something. So this is soft succulent in evening evergreen. I'll hold it up in a second so you can see it. And then there was one more little piece that went on this little flower. So again, I'll hold it up in a sec. Okay, so here we go. Here's my pieces all stamped with the two-step piece stamping. Okay, and then I'm going to do the flower. So it's two-step stamping. This is always a fun technique to show people. Because it is quite an awesome way to make an image. So I'm inking this really filled in one up with Highland Heather. And I always do upside down inking when the stamp is large like this. And then I'm going to press it down. I always say let it sit and seep for photopolymer. Okay. It doesn't matter that it's a little bit liney because this other image is going to go right over top of it. And I'm using Night of Navy. And I'm going to show you a couple color combinations that I tried first. And this is pretty easy to line up. I'm looking at this top flower and this bottom flower to try and get them lined up. And because it's photopolymer, it's pretty good. Press down firmly because there's lots of detail on this. I thought at first maybe it was a distinctive stamp, but it's not. But look at all that detail on there. It is so pretty. And I love the little bit of hint of purple underneath. So let me show you some other color combinations that I tried here. I wanted to do blue because I had asked everyone to bring blue ink. So I started off with Balmy Blue and Starry Sky, but I thought that looked a little bit weird. And then I did Starry Sky stamped off and Starry Sky, which I liked. And then I went, this is Gorgeous, no, what is this one? This is Starry Sky and Night of Navy, and it's so dark. I don't even think the camera's picking it up, actually. And then this one was Gorgeous Grape, which is also pretty dark, and Night of Navy. So I wasn't loving those combinations. Maybe the Starry Sky and Starry Sky, but it was still very dark. So that's why I went to this one instead, which I thought was prettier. So the die cuts it out perfectly. There it is. Ta-da! Done. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this little piece here to this. Get out my tape. Dana says, good idea. Thanks. I'm not sure which one, but thank you. And then I'm going to just add this on here like that. Should have made sure that was going the right way. Yep. So you kind of get 2 in 1 when you cut this out with the, that little edge. But I would really like the scallop as well. I'm just going to cut that right off. Okay. And I'm going to add this on here. But before I do, this is what I would advise anyone who is teaching a class to stamp your words first. Because if I mess it up, I can always turn this over. So the only saying that I really love out of this is the thanks. I mean, the Mother's Day is nice if you have a mother. to do that. So I'm just going to stamp the thanks, and I'm going to stamp it down here. Let's sit and seep. And again, if I'd messed that up, I could turn that over. So I'm going to give that a second to dry. I'm going to, somewhere in these pile of things, I have a card base, I hope. Yes, I do. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to put this together. And I have some embellishments and some ribbon that I'm going to add at the end too. And I've got a couple little tricks there I want to show you. I also just see there's a little bit of fraying on here. So here's another little trick you can do. If I can find my tool. Here we go. I've got one of these sanding blocks, really fine sanding blocks for nails. And you can just use that to get off any little edges. So sometimes that happens when your paper cutter is needing changing. And I'm going to take this on first in case I need to trim it at all. I'm going to put lots of tape because of that weave. My plan was to make a couple cards to show you guys, but it took me so long playing with all the stamps and figuring them out that I only got to the one. So I'm glad I did this because I can see it's overhanging just a little bit, and I want to fix that. There we go. Roxanne says she loves the nail file tip. Oh, great. I didn't know if I showed that one before or not. I forgot to show my festive nails tonight at the party. We were all dressed festively. I'm in my pajamas. Okay. I took off the balls. I had Christmas ornament balls in my ears. They were just getting a little bit heavy. Okay, so I'm now going to add this piece here. I'm just going to tape like that. I did kind of position this out ahead of time, so I kind of know. Now this one I'm not sure yet, so let me just grab this with some dimensionals. I just think this stamp set is really pretty. I know we have lots of flowers. Anytime you can show a flower that's really easy and yet looks fantastic is a good flower in my opinion. Are you going crazy how I'm doing my dimensionals? Those of you who go crazy on that kind of thing. So I'm going to peel all these off. Okay, and I'm going to put this kind of like that, and I'm going to want to tuck that guy in there. So let me just get some tape on here. Using my silicone mat might have been a good idea. This is going to get tucked in here before I tuck that on. I just want that to be showing a little bit. There we go. Okay, so isn't that pretty? And so I thought it needed one more thing. I kind of like the idea of this waffle here, but I wanted something maybe that went across more. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do a bow. So I've got this soft succulent ribbon, which is the ribbon from the annual catalog. So don't be afraid to compare stuff from the annual catalog. And I want a nice long tail on this. So I'm going to just tie this. So the way I do bows is I just do a rough bow. And then I just start pulling the ends and tightening it up. So I do want a long tail, so I purposely left this long here, but I want a nice small loops here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to trim this off long, and I'm going to grab this. Linda says, I love this card. Oh, thank you. I'm going to put a piece of tear-in tape here. Okay, like that, and I'm going to do another one here. I love that you can tear it. Okay, and then I'm just smooth it over, and then I'm going to peel this off, and I'm going to get my Take-A-Pick tool, and I'm just going to pull this off. I'll look at your comments there in a sec. And I just need a sip of water. Excuse me. I'm mostly better from that awful cold that I had, but I still have a bit of a froggy voice. A little bit of trouble still at night sleeping. You really got to seal that stuff down before you pick it. My cat decided she wanted in the room just before I started the live, and now she's meowing to get out, of course. I'll leave that one there for a second. Okay, so this is going to go like this, and then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to flip this around. Dana says, I love floral stamps, and now I want this one too. I just thought it was such a pretty one. So I'm going to start by catching the ribbon a little bit right there. And then I'm going to use this Take-A-Pick tool, and I'm going to hold it up a little bit. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I'll hold it up in a second once I got a few of these down. I could glue dot that down to start, but yeah, I'm going to glue dot it down to start. I'm trying to remember how I did it last time. Okay, glue dots. I'm going to add 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to stick that bow down there. That ended up on my finger, not where I wanted it to be. Okay, you stay there. Okay, this is just a little awkward till I get it started. So I'm going to start by sealing it down, and then I'm going to use this to hold and do like almost like a little ripple, and then I'm going to catch it. Okay, I'm going to slide it out. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. So you see I kind of got it sort of holding. See the 2 little ruffles kind of, and then I'm going to put this under here again and kind of hold it. I'm going to hold it up there so you can see. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Catch and then catch it. So you can see the kind of rufflings happening here. And then the same thing, a little catch down there, a little ruffle. So I'm just using this to make them kind of even. Can you hear the cat meowing? Okay, so I can go as far as I want. So how pretty is that? And then I can trim that off. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So let's get that piece off there first. Kitty cat, you got to wait now. There we go. Okay, so same idea. I'm going to catch it first down here. Making sure those are on there. So I'm going to catch it to start, then give it a little bit of a loop. I know this is probably hard to see. A little bit of a loop. I don't think I can hold it up. And then like that. And then like that. Let me hold it up one more time. So you can see this is just kind of holding it. And then a little catch there. Like that. Phones are great for filming stuff, but the one thing with using a camera is that you could always zoom in. Can't zoom in so much here. Okay, so that's good. And I'm going to get my ribbon scissors this time. Those are my regular scissors. These ones are my ribbon scissors. And I'm going to trim that on an angle. I'm going to trim this one on an angle. So isn't that beautiful? So pretty with the ruffle. Got lots of texturing going on here. So I wanted to add one more thing. So one of the things I always talk about is doing the 2-color rule. So I have here Highland Heather and Highland Heather in the background. I have navy and navy and navy. I've got the soft succulent. I don't have evening evergreen, but I do have it kind of repeated there and then here. But I do not have the smoky slate repeated. Light doesn't count, it's a neutral. So what I decided to do here was use these. These are new. These are adhesive backed milky dots. So my original plan was to use the navy that are in here, and that's the reason why I picked navy, but they're very bright. They almost look Pacific Pointy to me, but because they're kind of milky, the colors on here are I don't know where it says, but this is, I think, mango, navy, blushing bride, and this is supposed to be white. But they're very, because they're milky, they're kind of gray looking, I thought. So I thought they are going to work perfectly for what I want. So I'm going to grab those. They're really pretty, actually. I really quite like these. And I'm going to do one down here, and then another big one up here, and maybe a small one. So I'll hold it up and tell me if you think that those don't look gray to you as opposed to white. But even if they were white, that would kind of tie it in too. So there's my card. I'll take a nice picture of it and I'll put it on the group. And just a reminder to anyone that was in the party, if you could take a picture of the card that you got sent and put it in the group, that would be great too. Linda says that she loves the ribbon technique. Thank you very much. Dana says, cool. Thanks, Dana. I think this might be Laura. So pretty. Thank you. And Roxanne says she loves the nail file tip. Awesome. And Dana loves the little hearts. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it's a really pretty stamp set. So that is, again, the Marigold Moments. And it does have those 2 extra pieces. Oh, and I forgot to tell you too. Let's just flip this back over. I did die cut this out to show you. There's also one die that isn't reliant on the stamps. It's just got that lovely texture in there too. So that's also really pretty. I just think there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with this in here as well. And I just love the look of this stamp. Just so pretty. Anyways, that's all I got to show you, and I'm sure I'll showcase some other new things that I'm doing on Facebook Lives, and of course there's our card swap. If you haven't signed up for that, I'll put a link in here, but it's also at the top of the Junkies group and in the newsletter too. So thank you very much, and again, thanks to everyone who participated in the Christmas party today. I'll put the recording up as soon as I have it, and if I don't talk to you again, well, I'll see you Friday. So I'm not going to say Merry Christmas yet. Okay, thanks very much for watching tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.